So, but we joined the Pizza Hut, Jiffy Lube property.
Okay. You go that far in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happens is, that's where people are going to further fence it.
Right. I've heard that there's been homeless problems back in that area.
Yeah. They're on our, sitting out on north side. So to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, exactly. I'm sure the police are aware of it too.
Oh, yeah, they very much so.
She's been off some weight.
Yeah, I noticed that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
This other picture was
Yeah,
not
her
too.
inside. Yeah, she's not that skinny
Not
little
very
thing
flattering.
anymore.
Is Jason Ward Farm Brewery the landline for the district?
Yes. What's that?
They submitted their final yesterday.
I'll talk to you about it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the May 4th, 2017 Town of Riverhead Planning Board meeting. First item on our agenda tonight is a public hearing for Stat Health, Route 58 Old Country Road in Riverhead. Joel, you want to just
Good
state your
evening.
name for the record?
My name is Richard Searles. I'm the architect for the applicant. Offices at 55 Woodchuck Hollow Lane in Wading River. And we're here tonight to present the project that we're proposing to do for changing the Pizza Hut on 58 Roanoke Avenue to a stat urgent care facility. Basically, what we're proposing to do, I have some drawings if there's anybody would like to see them in the audience. We're proposing to do site work, basically, put a small vestibule on the front of the building for an airlock, bring the site access up to ADA standards with a sidewalk from 58 back into the building. We're going to remove the roof, to take the Pizza Hut look off, and redesign the roof to a more traditional style building. Do site work. We're going to look to put site lighting in. There's a gentleman, I believe, that has the parcel to the south that just requested that we also provide, or remove and replace the fence on the south side of the property, which we agreed to do. We'll give them a chain link privacy fence for the length of our leased space. Other than that, basically all the work is going to be interior. We are going to do some landscaping work on the outside. We're proposing to put a retaining wall sort of barrier to keep the cars from coming off of the traffic circle and hitting the building. That's going to be done in a wall similar to what's used in the Peconic Bay Medical Facility, and we're going to landscape that also, elevated. We're going to do some additional landscaping all around the building, replace what's there, clean that up, and remove some sidewalk and asphalt to bring the site into compliance with the impervious surface requirements. So we're going to take 1 or 2 parking spaces out the back, landscape that, and we still have more than enough parking spaces remaining for the site. So basically what we're looking for is the approval to move forward with this. If anybody in the audience would like to see the elevations or they have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for them.
Okay, you turned in the posting of the...
I did,
public
yes.
hearing? Okay, thank you. So it sounds like we somewhat agreed on, the barrier for where the cars were coming through on the circle.
Correct.
The planning staff had recommended a similar wall across the street, and you agreed to that.
Yes.
So I think that'll look nice there. And when we get to the work session, we can discuss sizes and shapes and all that. What about, I know when we did a site visit, some of the asphalt in the rear I had brought up.
I don't think that's on our site. I was there today. I think the asphalt that's broken up is on the Jiffy Lube site.
Okay.
This piece is in fairly good shape in the back, and it's been sealed. We are going to restripe the parking. But I think the asphalt on the site that we're dealing with is in good shape. I think the problem you're having is behind the Jiffy Lube.
Is that property, the same owner, Jiffy Lube and the old Pizza
I
Hut?
believe it is, yes.
Any other questions? Anyone from the public want to address this site plan application? Please come up and just state your name for the record.
Good evening, my name is Kevin Caulfield. I'm a trustee of Maystar Corporation, also known as Riverhead Masonic Lodge. We have the property due south that adjoins Pizza Hut and Jiffy Lube. As Mrs. Searles had stated, the only request that we were asking is that the stockade fence be removed and a chain link privacy fence be put in place. He has indicated that they will do that for the adjoining length that their lease covers. The other problem that we have is with the owner of the property, who also owns Jiffy Lube, that whole section. That whole fence is an eyesore, and it is a security problem for our property. It has not been maintained. If you go down there now and you take a look at it, there are a couple of new sections put in. We've had people trespassing through our property. We've had damage to our property, and we've had break-ins to our property. So, since Stat Healthcare is willing to work with us and put up a privacy fence, we'd also like to see somebody speak to the owners and have them do the same behind the Jiffy Lube property, just so we have a continuous fence. We have repaired the fence numerous times. We've contacted realtors numerous times, and it's like we don't exist. They don't really care. You know, that's the only request that we're making. Other than that, they're going to be a good neighbor to us.
How far back does your property go to the east? What's
If-
after that, Kentucky Fried Chicken after Jiffy Lube?
We're basically in line with what would equal the, probably the property line of Jiffy Lube.
Okay.
If you go down Roanoke Avenue, you see our building, there's a fence line in the back. That's where our property ends.
Okay.
And this has been an ongoing problem, and it still hasn't been resolved. You know,
Okay, well, we hear your concern, and at least we're halfway agreeable right now, but when we get back to the discussion, we'll certainly bring that back up for you.
okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The height of the fence is comparable with what's there, is what you're going to do,
Excuse me?
fencing that you're going to do in the back?
No, he's looking for a 6-foot chain link privacy fence, which we agreed to do. There's a wood stockade fence there now that we'll take down.
Which is 6 foot also.
Could be 6 foot also, yes.
Anyone else from the public want to address the board on this project? Any other questions?
Could I ask one other question?
Sure.
Due to some of the time restraints that the client has, you had mentioned before that we're going to go back to work session on this.
Sure.
Will we get a resolution to move forward after the public hearing so that we can get permits?
Typically, after we close the public hearing, we usually come back at the work session to work out some of the details from the public hearing. And then after that, we get into the preliminary approval stage.
Okay, so we're how far away? 'Cause we have some serious time restraints here.
I'll follow up with Greg tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know the agenda for our next meeting, it's just
Okay.
based on the agenda.
But based on no comments as far as anything other than the fence in the back, would there be anything else that we need to resolve in the work session?
We're gonna take a look at some of the paving issues behind there also.
Okay?
So they're not significant, based on,
I know they're not, but again, the timeframe is the killer. They're in a lease with this, they're paying very high rents on this building already because of the process that we had to go through. We thought we might have been able to do this through an administrative review at one point, which didn't come about, so now we're into full site plan, but that's the gist of it. It's just, the time frame is really critical for them, and the amount that they're paying on a lease is off the
Just give us
wall.
a call tomorrow.
Okay. Would appreciate anything that you could do
Sure.
to try to move it along, that's all I'm asking. Okay?
Understood.
Other than
Make
that,
a
we're good.
motion to close the public hearing of Stat Health. So moved.
a motion made and seconded to close the public hearing for Stat Health. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is closed. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Next item on the agenda is a public hearing for Fadoon Warehouse, 427 Lincoln Street, Riverhead.
Good evening, Patrick Fadoon, Laurel, New York. Been proposing to put up the warehouse, storage facility, 4,900 square feet. It's not 5,000, it's 4,900 square feet. On Lincoln Street, it's 427 Lincoln Street, and the other side borders, it's the railroad. So it's gonna be just a basic warehouse, probably 5 parking stalls. I have landscaping and fencing around the property to secure from the railroad to the property.
Okay. We had, the last time you came to the work session, we discussed the fence along the eastern
You
boundary.
You should have that, right, a stockade fence.
We're going back and forth a little bit about landscaping or fence.
We decided with a fence, I'll
Okay.
probably just have to power wash it after people write on it. Something I have to do.
So do you know what the use is gonna be? Do you have tenants lined up or no?
I'm trying to get tenants lined up. It works out, they don't come unless the building's up. Nobody wants to put any money down.
Okay, straightforward. Any other questions? Anyone from the public have any comments or questions on this application for Dune Warehouse? No one from the public? Okay,
Make a motion to close the public hearing for Fadoon Warehouse. So moved.
the motion made and seconded to close the public hearing for Dune Warehouse. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Public hearing is closed.
Just one question on the next step, this will be up for resolution, I guess? for the
Well,
next-
it's the same process. You come back to the work session, we finalize everything, and then it'll come up for the.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next public hearing we have is for Popeye's Restaurant, 212 Old Country Road, Riverhead. Yeah.
Good evening. evening. My name is Jack Roseberry. I'm an architect, 1029 Sip Avenue in Medford. I'm here also with Michael Sedano, who's also the design architect for the building of Popeyes. Essentially, we have a one-story Popeyes restaurant with 31 seats. We have received town comments and resubmitted according to same. It's as a right application. The area disturbance is less than 40,000 square feet, so a SWIP is not required. It has some grading issues. We resolved them with bringing in fill, and we have a retaining wall on the site. Parking is over the required standard for it. No variances are being sought, and that's my presentation, short and sweet.
You're in the sewer district there, correct?
No, we're not in the sewer district. We're in groundwater zone 4, and we're doing due to the high groundwater, though, we're doing conventional sanitary system with leaching galleys rather than high profile cesspools, which actually work out as a lesser profile than the 5-ring system that the health department has been promoting. They're letting us use leaching galleys on this.
Do you have a picture of the elevations with you, Richards? We'll make sure we're getting a good look at Popeyes.
You want me to put them up, or?
Please.
That one. Can you see it from there?
Yeah, is that the standard?
Yeah, it's corporate.
Yeah, their corporate design standard for Popeyes. Might be a hair dark. I'm looking at that's one of the print. Okay. It might be a hair darker than typical, on the printout, but that's not. It's generally those colors.
Have you been to the ARB yet? Architectural Review Board?
Yes.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
approved
they
it?
had approved it. Yes.
Okay, I think the last time you came to the work session, I had a question about the groundwater flow there, because of the low-profile septic systems.
Right. Groundwater flow is essentially southeast. There's a pond about a half mile north of the and east of the project site, and the groundwater flow flows away from that pond towards the Peconic River. It's essentially southeast.
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 Okay. And how do you-
I have a little more information on that. We established the groundwater elevation about 5 feet below 5 to 6 feet below project grade. That's why we had to bring in the fill, and we received that information through our own test borings and from a USGS monitoring well nearby. And that's health department makes us
What about the direction of the groundwater flow?
southeast.
But how did you determine that?
It's determined by contour maps, USGS contour maps, from and I can't remember the exact name of the map, but there is also I can see the map in my head and I can't remember the name of it, but essentially the health department also puts out the groundwater contour maps, and we determine it via groundwater contour maps. It essentially runs highest to lowest, and we determine it from that information.
So you have a PVC fence around the property?
Yes, we put up PVC around the property, but we also were required by code to put we're gonna put a PVC fence on top of the retaining wall, because we're required to have a minimum of 42-inch guard on a retaining wall greater than 18 inches in height, so we're putting up
What
essentially a
color
4 foot. White. We haven't got-
Those white fences are obnoxious. They're supposed to be-
We'll work on that.
We could talk about the color at a work session. Something like that.
Did you say 32 seats or 31?
31.
Okay. Anyone from the public have any questions or comments on this application? No one from the public wants to come up? Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Make a motion that the public hearing for Popeyes Restaurant be closed. So moved.
Second. The motion made and seconded to close the public hearing for Popeyes Restaurant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Public hearing is closed. Thank you. Okay, before we move to the resolutions, anyone from the public want to comment on the resolutions? Any comments on the resolutions that are on the agenda? Okay.
I'll move resolution 35, Twin Fork Beer Company, to schedule a public hearing and discuss the site plan application. So moved.
Second.
The motion made and seconded to approve resolution 35, Twin Fork Beer Company, to schedule a public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Quick question,
Go ahead.
Chairman. Do we normally put the date of the public hearing on the resolution? Or we don't know the date?
It should be in the actual,
Resolution?
yeah.
June first.
Yeah.
June 1st.
June first, okay, so.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's adopted. Number 2 on the agenda.
I'll move resolution number 36, site plan, to have a public hearing on site plan Eagle Auto Mall Warehouse.
Second motion?
Motion made and seconded to approve resolution 36, schedule a public hearing for Eagle Auto Mall. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's adopted.
I move the Van Weathering, number 37 resolution, schedule a public hearing, discuss a minor subdivision, lot line moderation, and land transfers between two properties.
Second motion?
Motion made and seconded to approve resolution 37 for Van Wettering to schedule a public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's adopted. Number 4.
I'll move resolution number 38 of the Riverhead Planning Board for a public, final site plan for Calverton Distribution Pods. So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve resolution 38 for Calverton Distribution Pods. Final site plan approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution's adopted. Number 5.
I'll move resolution 39, Gouda LLC,
Secret classification.
to classify site plan application. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve resolution 39 for Gouda LLC, 365 Harrison Avenue, type 2 action. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's adopted. Number 6.
I'll move resolution number 40, to authorize, public hearing for the, FKA 317 properties.
Second motion?
Motion made and seconded to approve resolution 40 for FKA 317 properties to schedule a public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Number 7.
Make a motion that the resolution number 41 of the Riverhead Planning Board, the Boy Scouts of America Boathouse and Cabinet Replacement, be administrative site plan approval. So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve resolution 41 for Boy Scouts of America Boathouse and Cabin Replacement, granting administrative site plan approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is adopted. Okay, any comments from the public on any matter in front of the planning board? I'm wondering why all the carpenters are here. Somebody gonna come up and speak? No? Okay.
Good evening, members of the board. We just came down tonight to make contact with a couple of the applicants that came before you a little earlier, which we did. We made contact with both architects, spoke to them about the project going forward and how we could help them. So that's why the Carpenters are here tonight.
And your name, sir?
My name is Bob French. I'm a council representative for the Carpenters.
Okay, very good.
Okay?
Thank you.
Quick comment. In one form or another, I've been dealing with the Carpenters Union for about 20 years, and they've always come up here and presented themselves in a professional and, business type manner, and it's a, acknowledgement to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Comments on any matter in front of the board? Meeting minutes from 20th for approval.
Make a motion that the minutes for the Riverhead Planning Board for May 18th, 2017, oh no, wait a minute, I'm sorry. April 20th, 2017 be moved.
Second. Okay, motion made second to approve the minutes of April 20th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. Any discussion or comments on anything else from the board? Yeah. Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
The last time I got on a horse in a Kentucky Derby, he's still running.
Yes.
Yeah. Sea turtle.
So this is similar to what the, can you see this? No. Stack out is gonna have something like this.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No boulders.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
Everybody have a nice weekend? This might have been a record or close to it.
That's a question of whether or not.
It was good?
Yeah.
Or.
Still wouldn't be the bar.